If you want to know more about sales discovery calls or the best practices that you can use to ensure that you make the most out of yours, then the only thing that you need to do is take a look below.
What is a discovery call in sales?
A discovery call is essentially the first conversation that you have with someone after they show some interest in your product. It's your chance to get to know them so you can find out if they would be a good fit for you in general.
What makes a good discovery call?
If you want to make a good discovery call, then you have to make sure that you are personable. You need to have an attitude that basically means if you don't make a sale, you can still work with them in the future. This will help you to build rapport instead of just continuing with business as usual.
What are discovery questions in sales?
Discovery call questions tend to be the questions that you are asked during the sales process. It's designed to help a company understand how they can help their customer.
How to boost your sales discovery calls?
If you want to make sure that you are making the most out of your sales discovery calls, then you have to make sure that you ask good and important questions. You need to start out with a very strong statement, and you also need to find questions that you are scared to ask your prospect. Things that are hard to swallow might be scary, but looking back, you may find that you are able to find out everything you need to know while also being able to extract meaningful information. At the end of the day, prospects should be talking 55% of the time. If your LTV is less than $1,500, you probably only need to spend 15 minutes on a call.
Keep it casual.
The first nugget of information that is required is to find out what problem the other person is having. You need to try and understand them as much as you possibly can. You need to try and find their itch and not pitch your product. A very underrated topic that will help you to get to the truth is that you need to play with the other person's psychology. You need to keep it casual, and you also need to try and avoid mentioning your product. It's effective because the customer will reveal way more truth if they don't have to worry about your feelings. Nobody likes to be mean at the end of the day, so make sure that you keep this in mind. Discounts are mentioned half the time on calls, with pricing mentioned around 4 minutes 5 times.
Ask for commitment.
Another fantastic way for you to try and defend yourself from any compliments is for you to ask the person for a commitment. Sure, they may say that your product is awesome and that they want it, but at the end of the day, they will reveal their intentions if you ask for a commitment right out of the gates. You don't always need to ask for money either. You can ask for a commitment with reputation if you want. If you do not feel as though now is the right time for you to be setting up a meeting or even a financial commitment, then ask the prospect for an intro that could well put their reputation at risk if they are not truthful.
Find a conversation.
You can get a million ideas if you talk to a customer segment that is just abroad. You may think that your idea sucks, but at the end of the day, you are just talking to the wrong customers. Sure, your market may be big, and your product probably appeals to a lot of possible users, but in the early stages, trying to serve everyone will very much work against you. You need to slice your customer segmentation if possible by looking at each group. When you have done this, you then need to think about what customer would want it the most. You also need to take good notes, and you need to define what you want to learn most. Finally, make sure that your team is very much involved with the process. Too many customer conversations stay in the head of a single founder, so make sure that the conversations are used to try and talk to others and make sure that you take into account the various needs of your team.
The perfect discovery call.
Do some research on whoever you are going to be talking with. If you know that your customer has had conversations with the person who you are going to be meeting with, then ask them about the customers that they care about. Find out if they have been promoted recently by checking out their social media, and also find out about their personal achievements. There's absolutely no excuse for you not knowing anything about your customers, so show that you care and put the work in to try and make them happy. If you can do this, then you'll soon find that everything works out just fine.